What is going on, SHJ Army? We're back for another How Would That Superhero Train. Today we're doing Black Panther. Black Panther was actually requested a few videos back, but I had already promised Captain America. I already told myself I was doing Hulk, so we're finally making it to Black Panther, and I really like this idea because Black Panther actually is going to train very similarly to, that's a tough word, to Captain America, who we did in the last Marvel video. So this one's going to be fun. It's kind of going to recreate what I said and touch upon a lot of things that I said already. But I do like these types of routines because it's bringing together endurance training, explosiveness, mixed martial arts training, strength training, and everything that a superhero would have all in one. If you guys don't know what this video is, it's me talking about a specific character's workout routine and breaking it down into how they would train in real life if they were a real human being without superpowers, or if they don't even have superpowers as a character. It's just me talking about how they would specifically train to acquire their powers or abilities if they were real. So I'm doing that through my knowledge as a personal trainer, CrossFit coach, and also through the research I've done for over 200 to 300 workout routines based on celebrities and characters themselves. So we're going to break it down. We're going to talk a little bit about Chadwick Boseman. We're going to talk a little bit about Black Panther. And when I say a little bit, I mean a lot about Black Panther. But before we get into that, I want to talk a little bit about some intro stuff. If you guys are following along, last video I was just finishing up Less. I have officially finished it, and the review should either be up when this goes live, or I will plug it in the description right when it goes live. My next two reads prior to book club announcement, which will come the first of the month, is the first one being the, oh no, I had it all set up for you guys to see, but it's The Handmaid's Tale is book 1, and Vagabonding, which is an uncommon guide to art of long-term travel. I'm using both of these, I said in the last video, because Vagabonding is kind of like a manual slash book, so I might go through this rather quickly and just keep going back to it, but I did want to mention another thing that I'm reading with The Handmaid's Tale, so put links to those in the descriptions. And before I talk way too much, because I've already done so, let's pop the monster, cue the music, try not to burp, and hit it. Alright, so as you guys know, I've been trying to spice up these videos, talk a little bit about the workout routine, how I think they would train, but also not be overly repetitive and just continuously talk about progressive overload and strength lifting and compound lifts and warm-up sets versus working sets, and just go over the same exact thing over and over. So if you guys want, there are obviously those other videos on working sets and pyramid training, for example. You can look at that video, you can look at the Hulk video, and you can look at certain things so to not be too repetitive. So for that reason, I would like to get right into some of the fun things that I've been trying to do, which is clip in certain videos of Black Panther and Chadwick Boseman, or I should say the character and celebrity that I'm specifically talking about. And I also want to talk about their specific stats and abilities that we're going to be talking about in relation to how they would train in real life, they being Black Panther. So he's actually 6 foot tall, 200 pounds, and his real name is T'Challa. And yes, he actually does have powers. So those are his comic book stats, and his powers are actually coming from the heart-shaped herb. This gives him enhanced senses and physical attributes to have basically enhanced to superhuman levels of strength, agility, endurance, and stuff like that. We've seen Captain America and him in Infinity War just sprinting ahead of the rest of the Avengers and the fighters from Wakanda. But Marvel also states that he's a brilliant tactician, strategist, scientist, tracker, and master of all forms of unarmed combat, whose unique hybrid fighting style incorporates acrobatics and aspects of animal mimicry. T'Challa, being a royal descendant of a warrior race, is also a master of armed combat, able to use a variety of weapons but prefers unarmed combat. He's a master planner who always thinks several steps ahead and will go to extreme measures to achieve his goals and protect the kingdom of Wakanda. Basically, and I say this in the article as well, basically he's a jack of all trades. He really does it all, not only because of the heart-shaped herb that's giving him these superhuman abilities. We also have to remember he has his suit, and he also has all these other things, his intellect, which I'm not going to be training you to get. I'm not going to be telling you how to be a genius in this video, nor do I tell you when I talk about Batman or any of the other geniuses that we will see. So that part's on you, but I am going to talk about the training. So you're going to want to, first and foremost, become a mixed martial arts master for this one. We've talked about that with Captain America as well. Talked about it almost every single character we've seen. Before I get too far ahead of myself, I do want to mention the fact that Chadwick Boseman comes in at 6 foot, and at the peak of his bulk, he was around 100 to 195 pounds, his listed weight for the movie of Black Panther. So he's actually pretty good fit for the character, coming in at 6 foot tall. Generally, we see not only the celebrities, but also the characters we've seen come in slightly taller, 6'1", 6'2", 6'3" range. So they were actually pretty spot on with this casting. I really liked Chadwick Boseman for it. And I actually he actually trained to really show off those, the fighting style that T'Challa would show as Black Panther. So I think they did a really good job casting that. But if you guys want to go and you want to train like him in real life, it's going to be mastering mixed martial arts, but it's also going to be training for all things strength, endurance, agility, explosiveness, and everything that an overall well-rounded athlete would have. I also mentioned the fact that he's an acrobat, so you're going to want to train in bodyweight movements and mix that with the endurance and everything else that you're training. So this is a little tricky because how I think he would have to train is for strength, utilizing like these compound lifts and these bigger movements. In the other video, I posted up a picture of Captain America using bench press, and I think to be as strong as Black Panther, if you don't have the heart-shaped herb, you're going to have to increase your strength level and use things like compound lifts like bench press, deadlift, squats, military press, and stuff like this. Maybe do 5x5s, 3x5s, and really increase your strength for these compound lifts. And then supplement those things with accessory lifts, which you could then use pyramid training for, and maybe do 3x12 10-8s or 3x10s, or however you'd like to do it. Maybe even throw in some reverse pyramid training. I know some of you guys like that. And really focus on strength gaining, but also becoming a well-rounded athlete. You want to throw in things like box jumps and explosive type movements. You want to be explosive on your heavier lifts. You want to throw in sprints and high-intensity interval training, but then you also want to throw in endurance training and running 3 to 5 miles and training for running. So these things are things that might oftentimes be seen as counteractive, but I myself have trained, let's say, Monday, Wednesday, Friday in my big compound lifts, focusing on strength building during a recomp, which allows me to build strength while I'm kind of cutting my fat at some days, being in a lower caloric level and being in a maintenance while I'm gaining strength. And I've talked about that in another video. And on the other days, on let's say Tuesday, Thursday, and either Saturday or Sunday, I've done long distance running or high intensity interval training. So they do kind of match. And how I would think you do that if you want to be an acrobat in the same sense, in the same category as T'Challa, is you would have to then incorporate somewhere in that routine, depending on where you have the time for it. You'd have to also incorporate parkour and free running styles. You'd have to incorporate bodyweight movements, maybe on those Tuesday, Thursdays, or Saturday, Sunday, whatever days you're running. Also incorporate bodyweight movements after your 3 to 4 mile run, or before, or however you want to do it. But you have to incorporate all these different things, and that's not to say that you can't be bulky and gain strength with just bodyweight movements. I believe if he was training in real life, he would incorporate all these things, and he would just be a well-rounded athlete. You might actually see him even doing some Olympic-style lifts, but this is just a general sphere of where I think he would focus his training levels, and I think he would do a little bit of all of it. So that's that, on top of the fact that then he would then devote hours of training towards mixed martial arts. And I'm gonna, of course, link to some resources for parkour stuff and all of Coach Derek's workout routines. Coach Derek actually has a little bit of a segment in Daredevil's fighting routine that he programmed for parkour as well, and we would also know that Felix programmed us a parkour routine, so those will both be in the links below, as well as Chadwick Boseman's workout and also Black Panther's workout on the site, so you get all those in the description. But yeah, I think you'd be very, very, very well-rounded, and it's a lot of time to commit. If you guys want to do this on a simpler level, then you could break it down how I did it, and Monday, Wednesday, Friday train compounds, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, whatever, train long distance run, devote 30 to 60 minutes every so often to mixed martial arts, and continuously improve that. You're not going to be on Black Panther's level, but at least you're improving your own level of mixed martial arts training. And then also throw in bodyweight calisthenics when you can inside those movements. Maybe have a shorter day of accessory work, throw in some movements there. Maybe have a shorter run on a certain day, throw in some calisthenics bodyweight stuff there. So this is all going to be a pick and choose, but that is how I think Black Panther would train. I hope I was able to put in a bunch of clips and fun stuff over this chat with you guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Smash the thumbs up button if you did. Leave some comments below, regardless of if you liked it or didn't like it. Tell me how I can improve it. Tell me how awesome I am, whatever you guys want, and I'll talk to you later. Hey guys, I love pepperoni, and if you subscribe to the channel, like the videos, and check out the links below, I'll get to eat more pepperoni, like, cause I'm a puppy, and I love pepperoni. Please, get me more pepperoni. I just need it. Oh yes, pepperoni's so good. Please subscribe and like.